react, defending yourself, getting worked up, and later regretting how much energy you wasted on it. Sound familiar? The truth is, those who let every little thing get to them often find themselves emotionally drained, while those who stay composed hold the real power. This ability isn't about suppressing emotions, but about developing emotional resilience and self-control, learning how to manage reactions so that negativity doesn't dictate your mood or decisions. When you appear unbothered, you command respect, make better choices, and maintain inner peace no matter the situation. In this video, we'll break down the psychology behind emotional control, practical strategies to stay calm under pressure, and how to train your mind to stop reacting to every little annoyance. By the end, you'll not only look unbothered, you'll truly feel it. Let's dive in. Number 1. The psychology behind acting unbothered. Acting as if nothing bothers you doesn't mean becoming emotionless or indifferent. It means mastering the ability to regulate your emotions in a way that keeps you in control, no matter the situation. It's about training your mind to respond instead of react, to remain composed even when provoked, and to project an aura of quiet strength rather than emotional vulnerability. This skill is particularly important in a world where people are constantly looking for reactions, whether it's in personal relationships, at work, or even on social media. When you allow external events or people's words to dictate your emotional state, you hand over your power. But when you learn to stay calm and unshaken, you set yourself apart as someone who is emotionally intelligent, confident, and in charge of their own reality. To understand how to act unbothered, we must first understand how emotions are triggered in the brain. At the core of emotional reactions is the amygdala, a small almond-shaped structure in the brain responsible for processing emotions like fear, anger, and anxiety. The amygdala plays a crucial role in our fight-or-flight response, which is why certain situations can instantly provoke a strong emotional reaction. When someone insults you, challenges you, or threatens your sense of self, the amygdala fires up, signaling your body to react. Your heart rate increases, your palms get sweaty, and your body prepares for confrontation. This is an automatic and instinctive response, but it's not always the most effective one. The problem arises when we allow the amygdala to control our reactions without engaging the prefrontal cortex, the rational part of the brain responsible for decision-making and impulse control. When we act purely on impulse, we often say or do things we later regret. But when we take a moment to engage our rational mind, we can choose a response that aligns with our long-term goals and values. This is where perception plays a key role in emotional control. The way we interpret events determines how we react to them. Two people can experience the exact same situation and have completely different emotional responses based on their perception. Imagine someone making a rude comment about your work. One person might take it as a personal attack, feeling hurt and defensive, while another might see it as a reflection of the other person's insecurities and brush it off. The difference lies in how the situation is perceived. When you shift your mindset to see things objectively rather than emotionally, you gain control over how you respond. Instead of letting negative situations consume you, you begin to understand that most provocations are a test of your self-control rather than a real threat. A common mistake people make when trying to act unbothered is suppressing their emotions instead of managing them. Suppression means pushing feelings down and pretending they don't exist, which often leads to an internal buildup of stress and frustration. Over time, suppressed emotions resurface in unhealthy ways. Explosive outbursts, passive-aggressive behavior, or even physical symptoms like headaches and anxiety. True emotional control isn't about ignoring your emotions, but acknowledging them without letting them dictate your actions. It's about recognizing that you are in charge of your responses and that your peace of mind is worth more than momentary emotional outbursts. Developing this level of emotional resilience takes practice, but it starts with awareness. The next time you feel triggered, take a deep breath and pause before reacting. Ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Is this really a threat, or just an opportunity to practice self-control? When you consistently choose to remain composed, you retrain your brain to handle stress and negativity with grace. Over time, acting unbothered becomes second nature, not as a forced behavior, but as a genuine state of mind rooted in confidence, perspective, and inner strength. Number two, body language and nonverbal cues. Body language plays a crucial role in how people perceive you, often speaking louder than words. When you appear calm and composed, others instinctively see you as confident, emotionally secure, and in control of the situation. On the other hand, when your body language betrays nervousness, agitation, or insecurity, it signals to others that you are emotionally affected, even if you try to hide it verbally. Mastering the art of acting unbothered isn't just about controlling what you say, it's about training your body to align with your mindset. The key is to project an effortless sense of ease through nonverbal cues, ensuring that your body reflects inner stability rather than emotional turbulence. One of the most important aspects of nonverbal communication is maintaining a relaxed posture. Slouching, crossing your arms tightly, or tensing your shoulders can indicate discomfort or defensiveness, making you appear affected by the situation. Instead, keep your shoulders slightly back, your chest open, and your movements deliberate yet natural. Controlled facial expressions are equally important. Many people unknowingly let their emotions show through micro-expressions, subtle, involuntary facial reactions that reveal stress, irritation, or discomfort. The key to appearing unbothered is maintaining a neutral or slightly confident expression, avoiding exaggerated reactions like raising your eyebrows in shock, pursing your lips in frustration, or frowning. A calm, unreadable expression keeps others guessing and prevents them from gauging your emotional state. Steady breathing also plays a crucial role in maintaining composure. When people get nervous or agitated, their breathing often becomes shallow and rapid, signaling stress. By consciously slowing your breath, inhaling deeply through your nose, and exhaling steadily, you can regulate your nervous system and project a sense of calm under pressure. Equally important is learning to avoid common giveaway signs that reveal inner tension. Fidgeting is one of the biggest indicators of nervousness. Tapping your fingers, shifting in your seat, playing with objects, or adjusting your clothes unnecessarily all suggest discomfort. Nervous laughter is another giveaway that can make you appear uneasy or as if you're seeking approval from others. While humor can be a great tool for deflecting tension, laughing when it's unnecessary or forced can expose your anxiety. Excessive blinking or darting eyes can also betray inner stress. When people are uncomfortable, their eyes tend to shift rapidly, looking for an escape or gauging reactions from others. Instead, maintaining steady, deliberate eye contact conveys confidence and self-assurance. You don't have to stare aggressively, but keeping a calm, focused gaze signals that you are in control and not easily rattled. Developing a calm and composed physical presence requires practice, but it can be trained through simple exercises. One effective technique is the mirror exercise. Stand in front of a mirror and observe your natural expressions and body language when speaking or reacting to different scenarios. Practice maintaining a neutral, composed expression even when imagining stressful situations. Another exercise is controlled stillness. Sit in a chair and focus on keeping your body completely relaxed, minimizing unnecessary movements. This helps build awareness of fidgeting habits and reinforces conscious control over your posture. Slow, intentional breathing exercises such as the 4-7-8 technique, inhaling for 4 seconds, holding for 7, and exhaling for 8, train your body to remain calm under pressure. Additionally, role-playing real-life situations where you might be challenged or provoked can help reinforce composure. By rehearsing non-reactive responses in low-stakes settings, you prepare yourself to stay collected when facing actual high-pressure situations. Mastering nonverbal cues is not about becoming robotic or suppressing natural behavior, but about training yourself to exhibit calmness and confidence in moments when it matters most. When your body language reflects a sense of ease, people naturally respect you more and you gain greater control over social interactions. Over time, these habits become second nature, allowing you to navigate difficult situations with quiet confidence and unwavering poise. Number 3, the power of silence and minimal reaction. Silence is one of the most powerful tools in communication, especially when dealing with negativity. In a world where people expect immediate reactions, choosing to remain silent can be unsettling to those trying to provoke you. It forces them to sit with their own words and energy instead of feeding off your response. When you react emotionally to criticism, insults, or provocation, you give away your power, allowing the other person to control the interaction. But when you choose silence, You signal that their words hold no weight over you. This disarms people, leaving them confused, frustrated, or even forced to reconsider their approach. Silence is not about avoiding confrontation, but about mastering self-restraint. It allows you to observe, think critically, and respond on your own terms rather than being pulled into someone else's emotional storm. Psychologically, not giving a reaction shifts the power dynamic in your favor. Humans are wired to seek validation, whether positive or negative. When someone attacks you verbally or tries to provoke you, they expect a response, anger, defensiveness, or even an argument. When they don't get what they're looking for, it disrupts their expectations and weakens their influence over you. This psychological discomfort often leads the other person to overcompensate, revealing more about their own insecurities than they intended. In many cases, silence forces them to backtrack, soften their stance, or even question their own behavior. By staying composed and unbothered, you make it clear that you are not easily swayed by external negativity. Over time, this builds a reputation of emotional strength, making people think twice before attempting to manipulate or unsettle you. Practicing the art of listening without engaging emotionally is a crucial skill in mastering silence. Instead of reacting impulsively, train yourself to listen with a neutral mindset. This means focusing on what the other person is saying without immediately attaching emotions to it. One effective method is to mentally distance yourself from the words being spoken. Imagine you are an observer rather than a participant in the conversation. Deep breathing also helps regulate your emotional state, preventing reactive responses. Another technique is to use brief, non-committal acknowledgments, like a simple nod or a neutral I see, instead of arguing or defending yourself. This gives the other person the illusion of being heard without you actually engaging emotionally. In situations where silence might feel awkward, pausing before responding can be just as effective. A well-placed pause forces the other person to reflect, often making them more self-conscious about their own words. Over time, practicing these techniques conditions you to stay calm and unaffected, no matter the circumstances. Many successful people have mastered the art of the silent response, using it as a tool for control and influence. Take, for example, former U.S. President Barack Obama, known for his calm demeanor, even in the face of criticism. His ability to pause, maintain composure, and respond with measured words rather than emotional reactions gave him a reputation for confidence and intelligence. Another well-known example is basketball legend Michael Jordan, who frequently faced trash talk and mind games from opponents. Instead of engaging in verbal battles, he remained focused and let his performance speak for itself, often using silence as a way to intimidate and maintain psychological dominance. Even in the world of business, figures like Warren Buffett have demonstrated the power of silence, choosing to listen more than they speak, which allows them to gather valuable information while maintaining an air of mystery and authority. Silence is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of control. Those who can remain unshaken in moments of tension hold the real power in any interaction. By mastering the ability to stay silent when provoked, you become someone who cannot be easily manipulated or influenced by external forces. Over time, this practice not only strengthens your emotional resilience, but also commands respect from those around you. Whether in personal relationships, the workplace, or social situations, the ability to use silence strategically sets you apart as someone who operates on a higher level of self-mastery and confidence. Number 4, mindset shifts to cultivate emotional detachment. Emotional detachment is often misunderstood as indifference, but the two are fundamentally different. Indifference means not caring at all, while emotional detachment is about caring wisely. It's the ability to acknowledge emotions without letting them control you, to engage in situations without becoming emotionally overwhelmed. Being emotionally detached doesn't mean suppressing feelings or ignoring people. It means maintaining a healthy distance from negativity, unnecessary drama, and anything that drains your mental energy. People who struggle with emotional detachment often believe that staying unaffected means being cold or distant. But in reality, it's about setting healthy boundaries and prioritizing inner peace over emotional reactions. When you detach emotionally, you don't ignore life's challenges. You simply refuse to let them consume you. One of the biggest mindset shifts in cultivating emotional detachment is learning how to stop taking things personally. Most people assume that the actions of others are direct reflections of their worth. But in reality, people's behavior is more about them than it is about you. When someone is rude, dismissive, or critical, it's often a projection of their own insecurities, experiences, or frustrations. Taking everything personally places you in a vulnerable position, where your emotions are constantly at the mercy of external events. Instead, shift your mindset to see things objectively. Ask yourself, is this truly about me, or is this a reflection of something they're dealing with? This perspective allows you to step back and observe situations with clarity rather than reacting impulsively. The moment you realize that people's opinions, judgments, and negativity have little to do with you, you free yourself from unnecessary emotional burdens. At the core of emotional resilience is self-worth. When you truly value yourself, the opinions and reactions of others lose their power over you. Many people seek external validation, allowing praise or criticism to dictate their emotion. However, when your confidence is built on an internal foundation, no external force can shake you. Developing self-worth means recognizing your intrinsic value regardless of how others perceive you. It's about knowing that your worth isn't defined by how someone treats you in a moment of anger or how society judges you based on superficial standards. The stronger your self-worth, the easier it becomes to detach from emotional turbulence. Instead of feeling the need to defend, explain, or prove yourself, you operate from a place of quiet confidence, where external chaos no longer disrupts your inner stability. A practical way to reinforce emotional detachment is through mental reframing, training your mind to filter what truly deserves your energy. Not everything requires a response, and not every situation deserves your emotional investment. When faced with a triggering moment, ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Most of the time, the answer will be no. Engaging in every argument, reacting to every slight, or allowing small inconveniences to ruin your mood is a waste of your mental resources. When you practice this mental filter, you become more selective about where you direct your attention and emotions. Small annoyances, rude comments, and temporary setbacks no longer hold power over you. Instead, you learn to focus on what truly matters: your goals, your peace, and your long-term well-being. Cultivating emotional detachment is a lifelong practice, but it begins with awareness. The moment you start observing situations objectively, reinforcing your self-worth, and filtering out unnecessary emotional distractions, you gain an immense sense of control over your life. True strength isn't in reacting to every provocation, but in choosing when and where to invest your energy. When you master this mindset, you walk through life with a sense of unshakable calm, unaffected by the noise around you, and completely in control of your own emotional state. Number 5. Practical strategies to train yourself. Training yourself to act as if nothing bothers you requires consistent effort and the right strategies. Self-control in emotionally charged situations is not about suppressing feelings, but about mastering your responses. The key is to develop awareness of your triggers and implement techniques that allow you to stay composed under pressure. One of the most effective ways to build self-control is through the pause technique. When you feel a strong emotional reaction bubbling up, take a deep breath and delay your response. Even a 2-second pause can prevent an impulsive reaction and give you time to choose a measured response. Another strategy is mental distancing, where you imagine yourself as a third-party observer rather than a participant in the situation. By viewing conflicts as if they were happening to someone else, you create an emotional buffer, making it easier to detach from the immediate intensity of the moment. Additionally, setting an internal mantra like "stay composed" or "this is not worth my energy" reinforces a habit of calm detachment. Over time, these techniques help condition your mind to default to control rather than reaction. One of the most practical ways to train yourself is through role-playing exercises. Preparing for emotionally challenging situations in advance gives you the upper hand when they arise in real life. A simple yet powerful exercise is to simulate interactions where you face criticism, insults, or negativity. Stand in front of a mirror and practice responding with a neutral expression and calm body language. You can also rehearse different verbal responses, from silence to deflective humor, and test which ones feel the most natural. Another method is to have a trusted friend play the role of an agitator, throwing hypothetical insults or challenges at you while you practice remaining unfazed. This type of exposure training strengthens your ability to handle confrontations without letting them disrupt your emotional balance. With enough practice, your reactions become automatic and staying composed becomes second nature even in real situations. Another technique for emotional resilience is using humor and sarcasm as a defense mechanism. When used correctly, humor can diffuse tension and turn a potentially negative situation into one that feels lighthearted. For example, if someone makes a passive-aggressive comment instead of reacting with anger, a witty response can shift the dynamic. If someone says, "You always seem so quiet, do you even have an opinion?" a humorous comeback like, "I charge a fee for my opinions," can turn the situation into a joke rather than a confrontation. Sarcasm, when used in moderation, can also be an effective tool to dismiss negativity without escalating conflict. However, it's important to gauge the situation. While humor can be a shield, it should not come across as defensive or forced. The goal is to project confidence and control rather than appear like you are masking insecurity. Beyond real-time techniques, long-term emotional control is best cultivated through mindfulness practices such as journaling and meditation. Journaling helps in processing emotions without externalizing them in unhealthy ways. Writing down your thoughts and reactions after stressful encounters allows you to analyze them objectively, identify patterns, and develop better responses for the future. It also serves as an outlet to release frustration in a constructive way rather than letting emotions build up internally. Meditation, on the other hand, strengthens your ability to stay present and regulate emotions. Mindfulness meditation trains your brain to observe thoughts without attachment, making it easier to remain unbothered when confronted with negativity. By practicing controlled breathing, visualization, and body awareness, meditation rewires your brain for calmness and resilience. Over time, these practices make emotional detachment a natural state rather than something you have to force.
Number 6, common mistakes to avoid. One of the biggest mistakes people make when trying to act unbothered is confusing emotional control with emotional suppression. Emotional control is about managing reactions and responding thoughtfully, whereas suppression means ignoring or burying emotions altogether. Suppressing emotions might work temporarily, but over time it leads to internal stress, resentment, and even unexpected emotional outbursts. True self-mastery comes from acknowledging emotions without letting them dictate your actions. Instead of pretending something doesn't affect you, recognize your feelings, process them privately, and then choose how to respond in a way that maintains your composure. The goal is not to feel nothing, it's to ensure that your emotions work for you rather than against you. Another common pitfall is overcompensating by appearing robotic or arrogant. Some people mistakenly believe that acting unbothered means becoming completely expressionless or emotionally detached from everything. However, this can make you seem unapproachable, insincere, or even dismissive. Emotional control is about balance. You want to appear calm and in control, not cold and indifferent. There's a difference between maintaining composure and shutting people out. The key is to express emotions in a controlled, measured way rather than completely eliminating them. When done correctly, emotional resilience makes you seem confident and self-assured, not emotionless or superior to others. Another mistake is ignoring all forms of feedback, assuming that every critique is negativity that should be brushed off. While it's important to filter out unnecessary criticism and negativity, it's equally important to recognize constructive feedback that can help you grow. Some people become so focused on staying unbothered that they disregard valuable insights that could improve their skills, relationships, or perspectives. The key is to differentiate between mindless negativity and criticism that comes from a place of genuine concern or helpful intent. If you dismiss everything as an attack, you may miss opportunities for self-improvement and personal growth. Lastly, relying too much on avoidance instead of addressing issues wisely can lead to deeper problems. While ignoring minor annoyances and refusing to engage in unnecessary drama is a strength, avoiding difficult conversations or necessary confrontations altogether can be a weakness. Avoidance may provide temporary relief, but unresolved issues tend to resurface later, often in more damaging ways. True emotional mastery involves knowing when to let things go and when to address problems head on,
The key is to approach conflicts with a calm, solution-oriented mindset rather than reacting emotionally or avoiding them entirely. Finding this balance is what sets apart those who are truly in control from those who are merely pretending to be unbothered. Mastering the art of appearing unbothered is not about ignoring emotions, but about controlling how you respond to them. Throughout this video, we've explored the power of emotional resilience, the importance of self-control, and practical strategies to stay calm under pressure. Learning to manage your reactions not only protects your peace, but also strengthens your confidence and decision-making. Remember, emotional control isn't built overnight. It's a skill that requires practice, patience, and self-awareness. The key is to recognize what triggers you, create a mental pause before reacting, and remind yourself that your energy is too valuable to be wasted on things that don't serve you. As the saying goes, the ability to stay calm in any situation is a superpower. The most powerful people in the world are not those who shout the loudest, but those who remain composed even in chaos. Now, I want to hear from you. How do you handle your emotions when faced with negativity or frustration? Drop your answer in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs a little more calm in their life. Stay strong, stay in control, and keep mastering your mindset.